Nukes, missiles, drones, jets, and a whole lot of military pomp and show. All this marked the Victory Day parade for China. But the exhibition was more than just a celebratory event, but rather a big message to the US: formation of a new axis, the axis of upheaval. On September 3rd, President Xi Jinping stood side by side with Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korea's Kim Jong-un, the first time these three stood shoulder to shoulder in a rare public display of unity. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian also joined the celebrations, along with over 20 other world leaders. This was the first time that China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran, what is dubbed as Axis of Upheaval, appeared together on the same stage. For Xi Jinping, the parade was more than a commemoration of World War II. It was a carefully staged message that China has arrived as a great power, not just at home, but globally. By hosting Putin, Kim, and Iran's leadership, Xi positioned himself as the central figure around whom America's rivals can rally. It's a symbolic counterweight to Washington's network of alliances and a direct challenge to US dominance. The term first appeared in an April 2024 article on the Foreign Affairs website by Andrea Kendall Taylor and Richard Fontaine. Kendall Taylor is a senior fellow, and Fontaine is the CEO at the Center for a New American Security, a Washington-based think tank. A NATO meeting in 2024 remarked, "The more these nations learn from each other, the more it is a concern for us." This clearly shows that while the bloc is not formally recognized, it is still capable of giving the West some sleepless nights. China, Iran, and North Korea have all helped facilitate Russia's war in Ukraine through what they called deepening economic, military, political, and technological ties. Not an alliance, they stressed, but a collection of dissatisfied states determined to overturn a US-dominated world order. The Beijing parade made that abstract idea look far more concrete. With Trump's whirlwind of twisted geopolitics, the Axis is growing strong. Western analysts describe this grouping, also nicknamed the Crink Bloc, as a partnership of nations opposed to the US-led global order. But while they share grievances with Washington, their interests are not always aligned. Take Russia's war in Ukraine. Iran and North Korea have supplied weapons and even troops to aid Moscow's offensive. Beijing, on the other hand, has remained officially neutral, even as Chinese trade and technology have helped keep Russia's economy afloat. Then, there's oil. China is the biggest buyer of Russian crude since sanctions hit, and it also imports 90% of Iran's sanctioned oil exports. In return, both Moscow and Beijing have offered North Korea economic lifelines, defying international restrictions on Kim's regime. Analysts say these moves, from weapons transfers to sanctions-busting oil deals, are why some in the West see the four as an emerging anti-American axis. Their combined weight threatens to weaken US influence in Asia, the Middle East, and beyond. But this is not yet a formal alliance. Experts caution that China's cautious diplomacy, North Korea's unpredictability, and Russia's dependency leave plenty of friction points within the bloc. Still, the optics of Putin, Xi, and Kim walking shoulder to shoulder in Beijing are hard to ignore.
If you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe to Mirror Now.